Guy, day 7. 1 week of unplanned content already. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, incredible. It's Sunday, so I must have started it last Sunday. What to share today? It's Sunday. I went to the gym. I woke Lily, I had a coffee. And I was reflecting back, yesterday. It was really powerful yesterday evening. I did sort of like I was lying on the floor, having my feet up, and I was connecting with my body, and I asked some questions where there's blockages and stuff like that, and then also connected to my ancestors, because your body is also a manifestation. A mix of your ancestors, in a sense, of their DNA, their genes. And I told you already that my dad doesn't know his dad, and that there were rumors that it was an American, like a GI, because after World War II in my city where I was born, in Landshut, there were American soldiers stationed. I think station is the right word. For I think more than around 10 years. And so I connected with my ancestors, and what came up was a connection to my grandfather. And a couple of months ago, I had a real intense dream about my grandfather. I saw him, and it felt like, it felt really meaningful. And so yesterday a name came through, and I was like, well, that sounds like a German name. And I asked some more questions, like it was channeled, obviously. And sometimes channeling comes through, but not literally, in a sense. And then I connected to my mom, like I was starting to research again. I went to my Ancestry account, but there is no connection to the States. So it's more around Austria, a lot about Austria. 77% Austrian, obviously I am. But I will put it, I downloaded my DNA results, and I will put it in some other websites where they have database on DNA, because I'm curious really to find out more and to like sort of reveal that secret. And I also connected then to my mom. I called my mom, and it's my dad's mom, or my dad's father. So it's the side of my dad. But I asked her, and I said, Mom, do you know anything else more? And I'm really curious. And then I went into, I saw her, sorry, I'm all over the place a little bit, the date of her birth. And I put it into, I obviously don't know the time, but I put it into, I looked at her birth chart, let's say it like this. And then I made a synastry chart. I took it and put it together with my chart, and no wonder, like we were so close. And I can see why we have so many amazing connections. Like my sun, my moon is conjunct her sun, which is like yin and yang, true soulmate markers. And she was such an important person in my life, my grandmother. And unfortunately, my dad and my stepmom, they've had a falling out with her and her partner at that time. And I lost contact. I don't know how old I was. I must have been 13, 14. I lost contact. And I actually never saw her after that. And yesterday I found an old photo. And it really made me super sad to have my phone. I want to show you. That was my grandma. It made me super sad. I started to speak to her and told her many things. And also today in the gym, like she came through and I was like, I hope you know how much you shaped me. And yeah, and I asked her what she would have wanted for her life. And she was very, very religious. So she did this pilgrimage to a place in Bavaria every year. And she brought me a lot of there are small little pictures with prayers underneath, and I all collected them, and we went to church regular together. Yeah, I got so many gifts from her when I was a little child. And I remember, I have a black panther at home, like not a real animal, but a stuffed animal. Like also not real, like a toy. And I remember every Saturday or ever so often we went to the city center and there was a kids shop, and that panther was there, and I was so attracted to it. I was always going there and I was like, can I touch it? Can I cuddle the black panther? So we went there ever so often. I was like, Granny, I really want to have that one. And she's like, yes, I know. But it was very expensive because it is from Steiff, which is a very expensive brand in Germany. And she said that costs a lot. I think it was 300 Deutsche Mark, which was a lot back in the day. And she said to me, this is a lot of money, so sometimes for the good thing we have to wait. And then she told me you have to listen to your mom, obviously, and be a good child, all of the stuff. And I did. And I always waited patiently in expectation. And then on Christmas that same year, it was under the Christmas tree. And I still have it. It's in Germany with my bear. I still have as well. I got it from my grandmother too when I was born. So it's 40 years old and it still looks great, still amazing quality. And yeah, so that was something coming through, and I'm going to work with that over the next, I don't know, ever so long. Connecting to my ancestors. And wait 1 second. Wow, wait. It's my cat. She still wants to run outside, but she's not yet fully healthy. And yesterday I let her go outside, and then she had a fight. And so I don't want that to happen until I don't want a fight to happen anyway, but more so when she's not healthy yet. So yeah, and then some other stuff which is happening because I said I'm transparent here. My hair is so funny, I went to the gym and this is my bad hair, whatever thing I do, because underneath it looks really funny. When I was a kid, I was always compared to my cousin and to other children, always, by my uncle and also by my mom. So in a sense, when you're always, and they said, oh, look, she's better, look, he's better, they do this better, that better, you start to sort of be not open towards other kids anymore because you feel you're always in competition with them in a sense. And I think I've never really, there were some really traumatic stuff happening in that area. And I never really worked through that. I wasn't even fully aware. But a lot of stuff is coming up around that. And it's about feeling not special enough, feeling with what I am and what I have or had as a child, I wasn't enough. I was always encouraged to be more, do more, and all of this stuff. And at the moment, this is coming up like full force. I tell you, I kid you not, it's intense. And in a sense, like today, I felt somebody's copying some artwork of mine. And I got so angry. I cannot even tell you. And I was like, why is this person doing it? Why is she not just focusing on what she's doing well and la 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 la. And as I always teach, there is nothing outside of you. So this person doesn't, I know people might think I'm crazy when I say that, but there is like, it's only a projection of the beliefs I hold about reality and what I grew up to be true for myself, what I grew up to be conditioned. So I wanted to send a message, and I was like, stop that, like, don't be a copycat and focus on your own stuff. And I was like, does this really help? Because it's inside of myself. I know this feeling far too well. And it's about me wanting to feel special. It's about me wanting to feel seen. And all of that, obviously, it's beautiful when we get it from the outside world, but it's an inside job as well. It's that inner child who wants to be appreciated, who wants to be seen, who wants to be loved, and desperately wants to be acknowledged and know that it is special. So I want to encourage you, because for me, like, really, this is like, I started to speak to to the spirit world and said, please help me to move through this, because this one case is influencing my whole life in the most different ways, and incredible ways, but in a blocking way. So one incident or experiences that you were going through in your childhood can limit you in incredible ways in your adulthood. Yeah, especially if they are subconscious still. So they're not yet brought into awareness. They will control you subconsciously. You will act out, you will react, you will not realize that this is something you have to deal with, like, internally. Your internal belief manifested outward. Yeah, and it's always like that. I know it's harsh. And I wish it sometimes to be different. And I was so angry today. I sent a message to my friend Jody. I was like, I hate it. I hate that she's doing that, etc., etc. And I was like really pissed. And at the same time, I was like, you know what? Just let it go. Turn towards yourself. Listen to your inner child. What's the core need? What is your inner child needing right now? What's the biggest fear your inner child is going through right now when it sees somebody might get more attention, etc. And yes, I did, and I will do more of that, because it's limiting me in many ways. Let's say like this: it has limited me in many ways, which I am not wanting to encourage any longer. Yeah, that's why I'm sharing that with you. Life can sometimes be, it's a journey. And even if I always say, like, once you go on that journey, like looking into yourself, sort of spiritually awaken, you will have a fuller experience, but in both ways. It's not only one way. You always live happily ever after and bounce around in a blister bubble. My belly's like, oh. It's also, the other stuff is coming up as well for you to look into and realize you've been always complete, you've always been whole, you've always been enough. And that it was just a belief you took on, which you can change. You can change anything in your life, even trauma, like change, heal, reprogram yourself, move through the feelings, move through the energy, the emotions, and release. So for example, when I felt that feeling today on the scooter, I was just feeling the feeling. And I was like, don't go into the story, Verena, because the story reinforces the belief. Yeah, so just work with the feeling, work with the emotion, feel it to heal it, and then send it its way. Yeah. And I believe it's not a coincidence that I'm starting to work with my grandmother these days. it must have been in connection with all of what I'm going through right now, or my ancestral tree. Because you basically, sometimes we're taking on stuff which isn't ours, to heal it for our lineage and to heal it for the collective, because we are all individuals, but then we are also like part of the one. Yeah, so whatever you heal for yourself, your lineage, and you also heal for the collective in a bigger sense. My God, when I talk about this, I feel it. I can feel it so strongly. I cannot even tell you. Like, it's a big one. I think it's my life's biggie. I think this is my biggest thing. Yeah, I can feel it emotionally. And it's like a great time for me, because I said to you guys, this year something massively will shift, and to really shift into that, what I'm wishing, I cannot have that holding myself back because of competition and comparing myself and being scared of other women, and being scared of other women, but you know what I mean, when in the past many times when there were very beautiful women around me, I was scared that they would take my boyfriend. And I know where it comes from, I know where it comes from. Yeah, but it's an illusion. It is an illusion. And today when I connected with myself, I called myself back home, and then I realized, like, I had that moment of awareness where I was like, it's not real. It is not real. All of this theater around you, it's not real. It's just a call to come back home to yourself and who you truly are at the core. Because nothing that is truly for you can ever be taken away from you. It's just really, really true. It cannot. Not your boyfriend, not the money, not the clients, not the house, not the job. You never, and I have to say that to myself, I don't have any competition. I don't have. Because there's only one me. How shall I competing with somebody else who is not me? It can't. It's not possible. And it's the same for you. You are not in competition with anyone or anything ever, and never have been. So I think that's what I want to say today. It's an emotional one. And maybe also this journey through YouTube is bringing up stuff which I'm not even aware of, also ancestral. We'll see. So week 1 is done. 3 more weeks to go on this journey on, I don't know, as I said, it's completely unplanned. But bringing up stuff, which is good. So, guys, I'm wishing you the most beautiful time of day or year whenever you see this. I'd love a comment. I'd love you to subscribe, stick around, share some vibes, share some experiences of yours, and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.